that. 25 is just I'd assume
I'm 26. I don't think I'm ready for kids just yet.
I don't think you're ready for kids either. Maybe you should wait a little longer, Andre.
I hate you. Let's go into game, guys. Belshire Vestige will be our next map for this best of 3. 1 game away. Taeja can knock Revival into
and win $500.
the decider and win $500. Although oh no, it was me and you. We were talking about how, do you really think Naniwa's going to pay out? If Naniwa, okay, this is the question. For those of you that don't know, let me give backstory. Naniwa posted on Twitter that he would give $500 to anybody that couldn't take out Revival. But if Taeja wins here, and then Revival still moves on to BlizzCon, will Naniwa still pay out?
I don't know. I think if Naniwa was smart about it, he would have
said advanced.
Yeah, he would have said if you stopped him from advancing, I'd pay you $500. But I mean, when you're Naniwa, you can afford to pay out $500. He's been winning a lot more than that in tournaments lately.
That's right. Naniwa just filthy rich, right?
He's so
filthy rich.
I think he's the richest StarCraft player. No, I don't.
That's crazy.
I'm kidding. It's
MC has like a $500,000 in
yeah.
a $500,000 in earnings.
In
that's not even with salary.
Alone,
yeah, that's not even with salary. Salary is probably like, what do esports people make, like $1 million a year, something like that?
Something like $1 million a year. So at this point, he's probably in the upper 4 millions,
yeah.
5 millions.
And that's without sponsorship deals. I'm sure MC did a ton of commercials already.
I know, there's commercials. That's where you really increase your revenue.
Yeah. As it stands right now, hold on, I'm reading something right now. If Taeja beats Revival, he gets $500. But if Select then beats Revival, or whoever does in the decider, do they also get $500?
Naniwa wouldn't be paying the person who doesn't knock Revival up, but then not paying the person
Hey,
who
how
knocks
about
him
this?
out.
How about this? How about this?
He'd be like, thanks, Taeja, for not helping me advance. Oh, by the way, Jon Snow, you stopped him, but you don't get anything.
That would be messed up.
It would be.
But what if it was like, what if Revival lost to Select, right? And then Select lost to Taeja, and then they met up in the decider, and Select beat Revival again. Does Select get $1,000 for that?
Ooh, that's a good question, but it didn't happen. So
it didn't happen. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, it's still $1,000.
It is a valid question.
I mean, the stipulations were not really given, but it is important, guys, because Naniwa, this is his BlizzCon life on the line. Not quite. He's always going to BlizzCon, but
yeah.
This is whether or not he has to go there and potentially play a best of 5 and have a small chance of getting knocked out right there and not even being part of the round of 16. That's a brutal feeling.
And he'd be playing with my heart.
It's a lot of pressure right there.
We need one foreign hero in the finalists, but then also I'd like to see another Zerg player in the finalists, though.
Oh gosh.
Kinda on the fence about that one.
Well, if Revival loses here, it's not going to matter because he's not going to be going to BlizzCon. He needs these WCS points. Now, Reaper's going to come into the fray. And this is just standard pressure, nothing out of the ordinary so far. Reaper shouldn't die here. Also, Revival shouldn't be losing any drones in the beginning stages, as he hasn't. It is a speed opening out for the Zerg player. Behind this, third orbital command center will be on the way. Interesting, the order of everything.
Yep, and Revival just playing pretty much, I guess, flawlessly so far, no mistakes. I also like his Overlord positioning. It's pretty standard, but oh, lost a drone there. That's kind of a mistake.
Just Taeja playing so greedy, man. Look at this. He was at 25 out of 27, and he got his third orbital command center, or third command center. Normally you get a bunker really fast here. You want to complete that wall as fast as possible, but none of that. Taeja's just playing super, super, super greedy. That means if an all-in comes, we might have a dead Taeja.
But I think Taeja is just going under the assumption that an all-in won't be coming.
Yeah.
I think it's a good gamble to make because often there won't be an all-in headed your way.
Is it really a gamble with all the pressure he's done, though?
Not too much of a gamble.
He's seen everything.
It's always a small gamble.
Yeah, I guess it's like 5% gamble. I mean, it could be like a proxy hatchery and a roach warren.
It could be.
Right? Like you cancel the hatchery, throw down a roach warren. Have you ever done that before?
I've done it before. I'm not going to do it again. It usually doesn't work for me.
Just awful.
These are the boats that I use on ladder, and they work. And then I use them against someone like Taeja, and it just looks silly.
You just look like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
No, I understand, dude. Ladder build is so much more fun. But against good players, not so much. Basically pub stopping. That's what you do. Pub stopping is so fun.
Got a pub stomp. Just getting that ladder. Proxy
Exactly.
2 gate all day.
All day. Hellions joining up with the Reapers yet again. Gonna do additional damage. One queen is pretty low here. Taeja starting things off very nicely. You can see that the creep isn't that far out. I mean, this is a lot of denial so far, but double transfuse is able to go off, so Revival will have life over here. On the other side, what do we have? Taeja, 740. This is accurate timings, getting double barracks. We should see double E-base popping out pretty soon here. Completing his wall, everything's looking very sound. So I like this. Taeja's looking really, really good here, but he needs to be careful. Zerglings are going to get us... Nope, they're not going to get us around because Taeja's too good. He's really good, man.
And he gets one Hellion, but I don't think that's worth it for how many Zerglings he
No.
lost to get that Hellion.
The problem with losing Zerglings and not being able to clean up the Hellions is that you have to remake the Zerglings. And Zerglings, you need an overwhelming force. So you need to make Zerglings, and then you have to make even more Zerglings because it's later on in the game, and there could be more Hellions out in the field. And that's a lot of larvae not being committed to drones. And if we can see 43 to 52, it's pretty nice for the Terran player. They're keeping up. And this is a time where a lot of times Zerg want to be way ahead in economy so they can deal with the mid-game pressure, the mid-game timings that exist.
Yep, and he is pulling ahead a little bit now. About 10 workers up, 13 workers up now.
It's actually even, though.
It is about even.
Yep, with mules, it's about even. So... unfortunate so far. I mean, the gases is where it really differs so far. But third and fourth gases being taken from Revival. What do you think about this Zerg gaslight style? I mean, it's 9:30. We don't have more than just now putting them all down, but this is kind of different, no?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, you can take your gases at different timings. He's not going to have as much gas for Muta as initially, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. He's just getting a little bit more mineral income. Maybe you would have taken them earlier if you didn't lose so many Zerglings enough to remake them.
Okay. Well, we are off into mid-game, as we always love. We're just going to find out where Terran really wants to put the pressure on. This is a state where, as Zerg, you're defending against two major areas. It's going to be your main base, and it's going to be your third base. The natural doesn't really get attacked nearly as much because of the openness. You can be surrounded very easily, but here, not a lot of creep is spread already, so Terran is looking to attack on this side, and also do a couple of drop shenanigans on the main base. That's something that Revival, I'm sure, is very aware of. But now, the main force is moving out. And is he going into the natural base? I mean, I said it's not normally good to do this, but he doesn't care, man. He's going for it, and this is a great position for Revival to be in. Like, what an easy cleanup right there.
Yeah, I mean, the trade isn't as important as it seems because the Hellions aren't going to have that much more use heading into the mid-game, but it still is definitely a good cleanup. And it looks like Taeja's Marine jammed in the corner there.
Yeah.
Traded nicely, but I mean, I think that's just an even trade when they're positioned like that.
Wouldn't you say that's actually advantage for Zerg? Yes, the trade is even, but overall advantage for Zerg because that's what you want. You want a lot of passivity in this 11 to maybe 20-minute period as much as possible.
Definitely advantage for Zerg. After you clean up an attack like that, you can claim map control. And we see Revival moving across the map with all of his Zerglings, a couple of bandings.
Yeah, and not only that, taking his fourth base. Normally, if you're playing defensive, you're not going to take this fourth because you're worried it's going to get canceled. But now, creep tumors are being placed out on the map, doing a great job as, well, so far. And applying a little bit of pressure here and there, so Revival looking good as we move over into this game on Belshire Vestige. But you have to be careful because even with this quote-unquote advantage, the fourth base is just so easy to kill.
Yeah, like, we see that Revival has decent creep spread, but he doesn't have much creep in front of that fourth base right now. Oh.
Ooh, so close, Ghost User.
Will he step on him? I think he might. I think
but
Revival could lure him over those.
Well, he could, maybe. Use some good pressure. Muta's now flying up in front. Not going to chase that one medevac. Zerglings almost got crushed in the back here. And now scanning big skin. But this 360 surround could do a lot here. Oh my god, great Widowmine hit. And just like that, I feel like... just like that, I feel like Revival is behind. He's going to lose his fourth base, I think. Well, maybe.
Maybe he does have some banelings morphing in and lots of links in production now. I think he can defend at least 15 extra
So many
banelings in
Zerglings to
production.
lose, though, no?
Yeah, it is a lot of Zerglings to lose, and Taeja's definitely had the better side of these last few trades. But Revival, he did trade pretty well early on against those Hellions and Marines.
I love what Taeja just did there. He backed up because he knew his Widow Mines were inactive. They couldn't work. And he's just going to back up, recongregate all of his army, and then from there, play it out as soon as they go off of cooldown. Now moving a little bit further into the 4th base. Here's the big surround by these Zerglings and Banelings. Will they get connections? I don't know. It looks like he's able to swarm his opponent. The Widow Mines did not get good connections. But there are 3 over on the other side. It's going to force EG Revival to back up for now. But that was a that was as good as a hold as you can get so far for the Zerg player, I think.
Yep, and Taeja sending out a medevac to do a drop. We'll have to see if that gets spotted. Even if it doesn't, Revival already has a force of Lings and Banelings in his main to defend against such a play. And
Yeah.
like we were talking about, though, now you can kind of see why we said this map favors Terran a little bit, because there's basically no creep in the area that the engagements are taking place in.
Yeah, this is just really tough. But still, there's a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. The Widowmine count is growing and growing and growing. That's what gets scary. 6 on the field, 3 at a time, and Drilling Claws has finished now. And I like this. Taeja showing his patience, saying, okay, well, let's just wait until he reacts to that drop in the top left-hand corner, then I can do something. Unfortunately for Taeja, there are already Zerglings and Banelings there.
The one thing I don't like is that Taeja hasn't started a 4th command center yet.
Yeah, that's true. He's going pretty all in. Nice Baneling connections. And there's so many Marauders. Revival getting absolutely slaughtered here in game number 2. Widow Mines need to be replaced, though. Can't get complacent here. He's pushing on in after 2 pretty decent engagements, but does he have the splits? He's on creep right now. Additional Widow Mines are going to join in. Drop over the 3rd base, the same one that flew over in the main. And this is going to draw a lot of units back, forcing Revival in a really awkward situation. I mean, he's under attack in so many different areas, now out of position for this attack. And Widow Mines are going to be so good here. Oh, gosh. And I love that. The Marauders are just staying in front, tanking a lot of damage. If Banelings aren't microed correctly, that they're going to crash against units that can tank them pretty nicely. And from here, I think Revival is dead.
Yeah,
it's really sad to say. Go ahead.
I don't think he can defend this 4th base. Taeja, all he has to do is continue to attack like he's been attacking.
Yep.
And I think Revival, he's going to lose the 4th base pretty shortly.
I do too. I mean, it's so hard to stop something like this. You need to overwhelm your opponent so much, but with a maxed out army, you're never looking. You can't overwhelm them, right? I mean, you're hitting a supply cap way too fast here. 179 supply to 163 of Revival, not taking the best trades. And again, his 4th base, he already lost one of the gases. That's half of the real importance of this 4th base, not looking to take another 4th base. But we have to keep in mind, oh, if Taeja doesn't pay attention here, he's just now getting his 4th command center, so this is really delayed, but the continued aggression works out so well. The drop over on the mid left-hand side is approaching the main base, but still Zerglings or Banelings are over
Revival
there.
is just so far behind at this point, though, and he can't afford Mutalisks, but he doesn't have that many Mutalisks to be able to do much with. And his Ling Baneling force isn't that large either.
3-3 against 2-2 as well. Everything doesn't look great for our Zerg player, as Taeja will get one step closer to making it to the finals for WCS Season 4. One last attack will ring out over here for Revival. Apparently not. The drop is going to be parried once again, but as we always said, I mean, you're going to crush against this time and time again, and you're not going to be able to be cost efficient. I mean, that's just how it works off of creep. With so many Widow Mines on the field, and look at this, just reinforcements drilling in time and time again. Revival, he will take worse and worse trades. Units lost tab, down by 7,000 almost. This is definitely a situation where it's so frustrating for Zerg. They need to get that full surround when supplies are a lot smaller. But at this point, my friend, we have Liquid Taeja going to be advancing here to Premier League. Oh, wow, great Baneling connection. I thought you were going to take it, Mike. You didn't take it.
Sorry, but even with those Baneling connections, it's just not enough. And
see, here, I'll teach it. That's when you have to say, yeah, Taeja played great, and then you can go over all the things that he did great.
Taeja did a lot of things great. He just kind of played pretty much the most standard easy you can play in Belcher Vestige. And I mean, if you want to know how to play this map in TVZ, just look at this game. Play it the same way Taeja did, and you'll have a good time.
Just drill, drill, drill at that fourth